What's up, YouTube? So before we get started with this video, on PTI, they're going to be talking about how the NFL is thinking about extending the NFL season from 16 games to 18 games. So let's see what they have to say about that.
In an effort to assuage the concerns of NFL players and quite possibly fans everywhere, certainly Mike Wilbon, who's...
So a quick side note, I think Stephen A. Smith might be a robot because I'm seeing this guy on every single show on ESPN. I don't know if he sleeps. I don't know what he does, how he manages it, but I think he might be a robot because I see him everywhere and on every single show. But, you know, he's balling, but I don't know if this guy sleeps. So I don't know. Let's continue.
Whereas the NFL could give two hoots about safety, by the way, y'all. The NFL apparently has stepped up to the plate with an idea. An 18-game season in which players are mandated to participate in only 16 games. Tony, do you like the idea?
No, I love the idea.
Oh.
I just love the idea. I love the idea because the first thing they do by saying you can only play 16 is they blunt any notion that they're not concerned with safety. Whether they are or not, they blunt that notion. They probably get rid of dopey exhibition games in which good players get hurt for absolutely no reason. And they put strategy back in football because now if you're a coach, which two games do I sit Tom Brady? Which two games do I sit Khalil Mack? Which two games do I sit Saquon Barkley? And you're going to have to let teams know because betting is a factor here. You can't say, oh, I'll let you know it's a game time. No, they're not going to let it be a game time decision. I think this brings tremendous interest and excitement to the NFL and also takes the critics out of play.
I got to admit, I love.
So I think this is a good idea. I like it to extend the season 2 more games because that just makes the NFL season a lot longer or a little bit more longer. But I think that's probably being selfish on my part because I'm not one of the players that's down there going to be beat up for another extra 2 more weeks. That's going to be 2 more weeks of practice. That's going to be 2 more games of getting beat up. And that is a factor. That is a factor once you start getting towards the end of the season. So I think Rob Gronkowski, the tight end for the New England Patriots last year, he just recently retired. And so it was Super Bowl weekend. He was he was getting interviewed and he didn't look too happy. They're like, you don't look too happy for being in the Super Bowl again. He said, well, I'm happy to be here, but, I've been beat up. I'm tore up. It's been a long season. I'm happy to be here to be at the Super Bowl, but it's a very long season. I can't wait for it to be over. So it's just little things like that, it really starts to take its toll on these players. Granted, they're being paid millions of dollars, but to extend it 2 more games, like I said, I'm being selfish, but those guys, they might not quite like it, even though it's 2 more game checks. But that's going to be a lot more wear and tear on the body, especially for the NFL talking about they're worried about players with concussions and, the protocols of players when it hurts and all that type of stuff. But you want to extend it 2 more games this season? So I don't know. Let's continue.
The two. I really, really do. I really, really do. Because first of all, you got 2 additional games. Hopefully you're getting rid of the 2 of the meaningless 4 preseason games.
All right,
one would assume so. Okay. And I also like the challenge of coaches having to figure out how to play reserves.
Yeah.
I also like the idea. I also like how transparent it's going to be in this regard. Okay, I got a scrub like Blake Bortles, for example, hypothetically speaking, of course. And then we look at him and we say, okay, he's not starting for anybody. But then he's going up against a moribund franchise and suddenly he's in the starting lineup for a game or two.
Because that's the game you think you can win.
That's the game you think you can win. So now we see how the teams feel about competition instead of assuming everybody deserves the same level of respect. You're noticing scrubs when you see them.
Backup quarterbacks become more important than ever. And you ask, well, why would the players do this? Well, the players would do this because the NFLPA, not the owners, the NFLPA estimates that 2 more games could add as much as $2.5 billion, of which they would get 50%. Are they going to go against more money? They're going to say, I don't want more money?
I will say this in defense of the players. That same article you read from, I read this part. The additional 2 regular season games every year will reduce the average career span from 3.3 years to 2.8 years. That's crucial because players currently become eligible for post-career benefits such as pensions and health insurance after 3 years. So if guys are not going to last 3 years, you might not have to be concerned about pensions and health insurance, and that's a big deal.
So that is another issue in the NFL that is the huge elephant in the room is that once these guys retire and guys that have retired, there's insurance, I think, for them. They have a pension that they have medical insurance or whatever. And I've heard that it's up to like $1 billion in the savings account for all these ex-NFL players that have all these problems and the NFL's not paying out. I mean, you have these guys with these brain injuries and, messed up backs and messed up knees that the NFL is not taking care of. Granted, these guys made millions of dollars. Well, not all of them, because not all these players make millions of dollars. Not everybody's making $20 million a year, but the since it's been paid into from when the guys were playing or whatever, the collective bargaining or whatever they had, there is $1 billion or some type of number in there that these players should be able to have access to so they can get the medical care that they can have, and the NFL is just not paying out. So you guys aren't paying out to help players when they're hurt or, once their career's over, and now you want to extend the season for 2 more games, which is 2 more weeks of getting beat up. So I can kind of see that might be a problem. That could definitely be a problem, especially if I'm going to be playing two more games on a season of my career, and if I get hurt and I don't have access to the type of medical care that I might need, that could be a problem. That could definitely be a problem. Granted, like I said, these guys have made millions of dollars, and they should be able to take care of themselves. But at the same time, if it's there for them, then the NFL should be paying out and helping these guys. So I don't know. Let's continue.
Cover basketball or baseball, and the average lifespan of a career is 3 points something.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
my.
Yeah. And for 60% of the salaries are